Can a microphone that costs around $53 US or $73 Canadian really have what it takes to compete with other microphones like the Shure SM58, the Sennheiser 835? Well, today we're going to find out. This is the Phenyx Pro PM-26 dynamic Supercardioid microphone. And at first glance, I have to say, I really like the look of this thing. For around 53 bucks, it looks like it should cost a little more than that. I really like the flat top design. It gives it a bit more of a premium look, which is always nice when your microphone doesn't know it's supposed to be budget. Now, Phenyx Pro sent this microphone over to me to test out, but guys, as always here on the Sonic Spectrum, all opinions are completely my own. And then rather than spending the first 5 minutes talking about specs, let's jump into what you guys really want to hear is how does this sound? Let's hear it. I've got the PM-26 plugged directly into my mixer. What you're hearing throughout this video is the actual microphone being recorded directly in this video you're seeing right now. No fancy studio magic, no voiceover recorded somewhere else. Before we get into all the details, I'm going to let you hear it for yourself. I'll be testing the microphone with spoken word voice, some vocal, different distances, and some other tests that we're going to do to see how this sounds. So let's do a proximity just to see how it sounds and you can hear it. Hopefully you're listening to this video on a device like with good headphones or a good home theater system, just so you could hear the nuances. So here we go. I'm directly on the microphone. You can see here, I'm almost touching the grill. Testing, 1, 2. Let's move back a little bit. Now we're about 2 inches from the microphone, 1, 2, which is kind of the ideal space it should be, right? Let's go back a little bit more. 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. Okay, not bad. Let's do all around the microphone to see how the feedback rejection is with this Supercardioid pattern. Okay, directly on the mic, directly on the side of the microphone, back on the front of the microphone, on the side of the microphone, on the side of the microphone. Okay, let's do a plosive test right now. The P's and the B's. Peter Piper, Peter Piper, Peter Piper, Peter Piper, Peter Piper, Peter Piper, Peter Piper. Again, with the flap top, you may get to those P's and B's. That's a struggle with a lot of microphones. So you can just put a windscreen on there or just have it further back and angle it like this and let the air go above it, not into it. Okay, so I have the PM-26 in this channel right here. So as you can see, the settings that I've been using throughout this video. Volume is here, FX and everything's off. I've rolled the bass down a bit down, similar to my RE20 that I use usually. My mid's rolled back a little bit and my treble is about halfway. Compression down and gain is about 12 o'clock on the board, right? You could see that the gain had to go significantly higher from my RE20, but the fact that I had to gain at 12 o'clock to get the same output. And yes, I usually record lower here just because I want it to be the same volume as the RE for my editing purposes. So let's talk about what we're actually dealing with here. The PM-26 is a wired dynamic supercardioid vocal microphone designed for live vocals, speech, karaoke, and other live sound applications. It's dynamic, so there's no phantom power required. Plug it directly into your mixer, PA system, or audio interface, and you're ready to go. Phenyx Pro says the PM-26 has relatively high sensitivity and low output impedance, which basically means you can get a healthy amount of output without having to crank your gain up all the way to that, please don't make that noise. And that's useful because especially if you're using a mixer or interface that doesn't have a ton of gain available, this is important. The Supercardioid pattern is also interesting. It focuses more tightly on what's happening in front of the microphone while rejecting more of sound from the sides. Let's talk about the build and design. I really like I said, the flat top grill. It's different, it looks modern, and honestly, I think it makes the microphone look more expensive than it is. It also has a nice solid feel in hand. For a microphone around $53 US, I think Phenyx Pro has done a nice job here. Now, let's think about where I could actually see this microphone being used. Karaoke is obviously the obvious choice. I could see this being a great option for speeches, presentations, community events, churches, small bands, and general live sound. It's affordable enough that you could potentially have several of these on stage or as backup without emptying your wallet. So let's quickly go through some pros and cons. The price is obviously a huge positive here. Around $53 US makes this a very accessible microphone for many. I have also liked the healthy output. The Supercardioid pattern feels solid, and the overall design. The most important, I think, it sounds good. I also really like that Phenyx Pro doesn't make this microphone look like a typical budget microphone. That flat top gives it some personality. And as for the negatives, this is still a budget microphone, so I wouldn't expect it to magically outperform some of the more other premium microphones that are 2 or 3 times the price. And because it is Supercardioid, you'll definitely want to pay attention to positioning and microphone technique. But honestly, for what this microphone is and what it costs, I don't see those as major deal breakers at all. Let's see how the handling noise is. So I'm holding it in my hand here. Now I do want to mention that this is an all metal design, which is impressive for all metal at this price point. So good job on that. The build quality is good. It feels very substantial. It feels the weight of me holding this without looking at it reminds me a little bit of the Sennheiser kind of E835, E935 kind of feel in my hand without even looking at it. So good job, Phenyx Pro, for kind of building something that really does feel more substantial than the price suggests. One of the biggest things I look for in a vocal microphone is how natural and detailed the voice sounds. I want clarity, but I don't want something that's harsh or overly bright. I also want enough body in the vocal that it doesn't sound thin. And for live use, I want good gain before feedback and a microphone that doesn't make me fight the mixer. So, after spending some time with the PM-26, what do you think? Comment below. I want to hear your experience, your thoughts. That's what this channel is all about. I love when you guys put your thoughts and experience and perspectives in the comment. Is this going to replace other microphones like Shure or Sennheiser in your gig bag? Or is it just maybe a backup? Or is it more for home karaoke and more casual use? This is quickly what you get in the box with the PM-26. You get obviously a manual, you get a zippered bag, a sticker, a microphone holder, the microphone, and it even comes with I believe it's a 15-foot XLR cable. Not a lot of microphones, guys, especially at this price, or even a little higher, offer a microphone wire included with the PM-26. So factor that into the cost. This is an incredible value, that fact that you get a microphone and an XLR cable. Just to note while I'm here, the PM-26 comes in regular and an S version, so you do get an option with a switch. If you want to switch on your microphone, there is 2 versions of the PM-26. The question is whether the PM-26 is good enough to be a legitimate alternative for someone who doesn't just want to spend as much money as some of those premium other options. This absolutely deserves a look and should be on your short list. So, is the Phenyx Pro PM-26 worth the money? Well, after putting it through some tests here in my studio, I think it absolutely deserves serious consideration. It looks good, feels good, has plenty of output, and most importantly, I think it sounds good. And when you're talking about $53 US, that's what makes this microphone interesting. Does it have what it takes to compete with something like the standard Shure SM58s and the Sennheiser E835s out there? I think it has a lot going for it to enter the conversation. Yeah, absolutely yes. Whether it becomes your go-to microphone will ultimately depend on your voice, your PA system, and what you're using it for. But if you're just looking for an affordable wired vocal microphone for karaoke, speeches, and small bands, community events, or general live use, I think that the PM-26 is definitely worth putting on your radar. Now, guys, as always, at the end of my videos, I want to hear from you guys. Enough of me talking. What do you think? Did you like the tests? How did it sound? Did you find it warm? Did you find it clear? Let me know your thoughts below. Guys, if you enjoy videos like this, I have a lot more coming. I try to mix it up between microphone, mixer, speakers. I want to try to get some lighting going on in on my channel as well. So make sure to subscribe, like, share the video, give it a hype too, if that button's available for you. It really does help the algorithm to show it to more people. Guys, thanks so much for watching and hanging out. I will see you in the next one.